some really, really big news. In about 10 days' time, I'm going to be moving, and that unfortunately means saying goodbye to this little place that's been my musical home for the last 5 years, so since the end of 2019. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but we're going to actually be moving to a slightly bigger place, and it's a place that I'm actually going to own, so hopefully it'll be a musical home for a lot longer than this. Thought I'd say my goodbyes and give you a little tour before I start boxing things up. Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a move. So this place has been home to the 15420 album by Jabun, Generation Supernova, Tides, June 22, and the upcoming Nephology EP, which should hopefully be out before the end of the year. I've recorded a couple of things for World Beyond, a number of collaborations with Bob Axel, aka Subway Devil, and the new Better in the Book album, of course, which also hopefully should be out before the end of the year. Here's the synth desk. We've got a Moog Werkstatt, Monotron and a Monotron Duo, Pocket Operator Robot, the Korg NTS1, which I also did some programming for, actually, SQ1, Volca Keys, Volca Modular, which is a fantastic little modular synth, the Korg EM1 Electri, it was my first group box, and it's just so fun. It's not super flexible, but it really pushes you to be creative with it. And I haven't used this on anything yet, but the Bastel Castle, and of course the obligatory pile of patch cables. Down here, you can see my first MIDI controller trigger finger hiding down there, and a couple of effects pedals. In that box there's it's actually a vintage 505, which you won't have heard on much yet, but it's actually on a lot of the Javon demos, which will hopefully be coming out next year. On to the main desk, we've got trusty MPC, which is one of the hearts of the studio. Rocket KRK 6s, second gen. Got the TR-08, which is another heart of the studio. A load of little trinkets and stuff given to me by friends and family. Down here we got the main guitar rig, which is a Marshall AVT50. Ton of Boss pedals, all those different mustard-coloured overdrives for different flavors, and they do their job nicely. A lot of this stuff is stock, but a couple of bits are modded. Like my wah-wah is very modern, customized, and speaking of modding and customization, the homemade Saturn X double neck, built that with my dad and my brother when I was 14, 15, and it's still going strong. And you hear that on all the Bet in the Book records, apart from One Small Step, which was just the Pacifica 2, which is actually upstairs, not in this room. Got a Yamaha Reface CP, which you'd have heard that on much of the Jabun stuff. It's a fantastic little keyboard. Down there hiding away is my first sampler, which is a Korg Electri BSX. Does a very different job to the MPC, but when it's there, it does a fantastic job. My first ever acoustic guitar from when I was 14, technically co-owned by my brother, but he's got his own one now, so this has been with me for many, many years. Sterling SB14 bass, nice thin jazz neck, speedy, and then the Squier vintage modified Jaguar, which is also modified again by me, just for some extra customization. Got the organ rig. This actually wasn't there at all when I first moved in here. It's slowly built up over the last 5 years. So we've got big homemade reverb, a couple of effects pedals, a homemade phaser pedal, obviously the Yamaha YC25D, YC25D? Yeah, YC25D. BP1 bass pedals, which were an ass to get, but after over, I was probably close to 2 years of checking on eBay every day, finally got it. The homemade rotary speaker, which has only been out in action for about a year and a half, but what a fantastic piece of kit. My organ bench is actually a Marshall cabinet because I haven't been bothered to look for an organ bench. And finally, not finally, I've got a melodica sticking in the side there. I've got a Thai flute, the Cluey. Over here, Bet on the Book live pedal board, all packed away. What's inside? Super overdrive, of course, tuner, and another homemade pedal. Cables galore, files and stationery galore. A couple of mics, bits and bobs, amp plugs, some various preamps, batteries, because you know you got those, and a whole bunch of the not in the rig at the moment effects pedals, a couple of bearingers. There's my bass preamp in the back there somewhere, and some homemade effects as well, many fuzzers. So that's about it. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get the new studio set up, but hopefully not too long. I will be moving some stuff up from my parents' place as well, so I'm very much looking forward to getting my old gigging bass amp back and another bass and the guitar. So, goodbye to this studio and on to the next.